I'm here today with friend of the podcast, Dr. Nacchi Felt.
Why is there a Black Hawk helicopter here? Like, I just don't get it.
Ooh, that is powerful. And also, I don't like how much that is true for myself.
Yeah, go
Right.
to the top. Meanwhile, who got you there, right?
You're hearing it here first folks.
Time. Very excited, right? Or very mad.
Hey, what's up? This is Kristen Carder, and you're listening to the I Have ADHD podcast. I am medicated, caffeinated, regulated, and so ready to roll. I'm here today with friend of the podcast, Dr. Nacchi Felt, and I'm so glad to welcome him back into the studio because the last episode that he was on got so much feedback from y'all. I was getting emails, we were getting comments on the pod. So listen, we love that. We love the feedback. Drop a comment. Ask us a question, ask Dr. Felt a question. He is here to serve, and we have got a fire episode for you today. Dr. Felt is a Columbia professor, a loving husband and father of 4, and an ADHD expert who has written a brand new book that he's here to talk about today. Welcome to the show.
Really great to be back.
So glad to have you. I anticipate a very fiery, fast-paced conversation today. I am on my toes. I am ready to go. Ready to go.
Great. So now that means people don't have to 2X us.
Yes, that's so true. That is so true. So how are you?
Thank God. Really just happy, settled.
Good. I'm so glad. Congratulations on the new baby.
Yeah, I know. She's delicious.
She is delightful, delicious. I was looking at pictures earlier. She's walking already. Yeah, she's so beautiful. The last time that you were here, we talked about the cycle of clarity and the cycle of ambiguity, or ambiguity first and then clarity. And it was so helpful to people. And I would just love to ask you to review those two cycles, because I think it's something that we need to keep in the forefront of our brain as we are moving forward as people with ADHD who want to get shit done.
1,000%. Yeah. So the overall cycles are called the cycles of clarity. It starts off with the problem, which is the cycle of ambiguity, where we often get stuck and can't get our stuff done. Then there's the cycle of agency, which kind of gives you that power to kind of get through. Think of it as special agent. And then the newest cycle is going to be the cycle of accountability, which we'll get to.
Can't wait.
It's going to be awesome. So I'm more than happy to start with the cycle of ambiguity, just because, again, I know it's we did this last time, but it's one of those oldie but goodies.
Yeah.
Because it's just our life every day, where we start off with our prefrontal cortex taking in tons of data, right? Almost just anything, the smell, sounds, sights, everything is just coming in there. Our brain is the supercomputer that takes in, vacuums up data. And then what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Where does it go? And so that kind of leaves us a lot of times feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all this incomplete information, because I didn't get all the details. I just kind of scanned it, noticed a little bit, kind of got it like a drop, enough to kind of move. And so what ends up happening is that I have all these airplanes swirling around my air traffic control tower. If you view your brain as an air traffic control tower and every piece of data as an airplane, there's just a lot of stuff going on. And we know what's been going on with those air traffic control towers.
It's not great.
Not great.
It's not great.
So that's the ambiguity part, where there's just confusion and you're not entirely clear of wait, where's that plane supposed to go? And why is there a Black Hawk helicopter here? I just don't get it. Right. So a lot of times it's just wait, just trying to figure out our world. So that's the first part of the cycle of ambiguity.
Can I pause you there?
Please do.
Why do you think ADHDers live in such ambiguity? Why are we stuck there so often?
Tough question right out of the gate. Really, really great question. I could give you the neurological answer, right? Which is that our brain is pulling in data, scanning for threats. Would you like to ask me a follow-up? Why?
Sure. Why?
So that's where it gets a drop more complicated. See, people are complicated. So the one thing that's simple about us is that we're all looking for the same stuff. We just want to feel safe.
Yep.
Loved, and accepted.
Yeah.
So, in a funny way, our brain is looking for that, right? For signs, symbols, hints that maybe here I could find safety. Maybe here I could find love. Maybe here I could find acceptance.
Hmm. So that would be the neurological answer.
Well, then when you asked me the deeper question, I got to the more
Yes,
psychological
yes. Okay.
answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we live in ambiguity. We're scanning for threats. We're taking in a lot of information. Our brain is not necessarily processing it systematically.
Yeah, for sure not in like a linear process.
Right.
And like therefore there's like tons of, which also makes us like super zany and awesome.
Yeah.
We're just kind of awesome because our brain is so nonlinear, because our brain kind of goes all over the place. We're out of the box. We're creative. We're just fun.
Yeah. Okay, great. So that's ambiguity.
Yes.
Take me to the next step.
Okay, so then ambiguity leads to like this internal tension because like no one likes that feeling of like, wait, what's going on? I'm just what? What's happening here? So that like internal tension, I'm calling anxiety. It's not like a clinical anxiety.
Sure.
I don't have to get on Zoloft for that. I mean, it might help, but it definitely causes some sort of like internal tension.
Yep.
And the bigger issue is the discomfort. There's a certain discomfort with uncertainty. Like the fancy psychological term would be uncertainty intolerance, right?
Yes,
Not being able to handle uncertainty. Yeah. And that's like a yucky feeling. And none of us like that feeling.
Can I add another A word that might also work?
Might frazzle our brains, but yeah.
Agitation.
Yes.
Like, I remember just feeling so agitated all the time, just not peaceful, not calm, not settled, not grounded, but just this like internal restlessness, this agitation. And it was a little more on the anxious side. But that really resonates with me. Is this just like internal upset, just this like agitated mode.
And to suck all the life out of that, the DSM criterion of being driven by a motor, right?
Yeah.
This idea of like, oh yeah, he's just like, doesn't stop. Yeah, because our body's not stopping and our sensory input is going all over the place. It's a lot. I like that word. Agitation. It is. Yeah, we're agitated a lot. And I think the anxiety also makes sense because again, that brain that's constantly scanning for love, safety, and acceptance is really like kind of worried what happens if I don't get it. I may not be used to getting it. So like I'm kind of scared. My default is I might not get it.
Is that a human brain thing or is that specific to ADHD?
It's a human brain thing. It's even like a primate brain thing, like studies on attachment. Like we're done with monkeys, like this crazy, crazy study, which I got into like the YouTube spiral of death last night and was watching the studies by Dr. Harry Harlow from Stanford University. He had a primate lab at a different university where he would have these little tiny baby monkeys, so cute. And they had like this like wire mom that had a milk
I've
that
heard
it would
of
feed it.
study.
Right? Remember
Yes,
that crazy
yes,
study?
yes.
And then they had like right next to it a cloth mother. So like they're both like a figurine. It's not an actual mom, right? But one had provided them with sustenance and the other provided them with comfort. And they found, and like I watched it with my own eyes, right? These little tiny yummy babies would go running to like the soft mama and then like cuddle up with it. And then whenever they needed food, they would kind of get their fill and run back. And like they said, they would spend 17 of 18 awake hours with the cloth mother. So this isn't even like a human thing. This is like a living thing. Like a living thing. We all want to feel taken care of. We all want to feel security. We want to feel secure.
Whew. Okay, so we've got ambiguity, anxiety.
And then
There's
the last
one more.
one, which is the way we kind of, most of us, I'll talk for myself, right? The way I most often deal with that internal tension, check out, straight into avoidance. Like it's the sweet relief of like my phone, right? Or like anything but what I'm supposed to actually be doing or anything that would help me avoid something that's judgment inducing.
Yes. I just did an episode with a client and she talked a lot about buffering. And I think
Tell me more.
so buffering is a term that we use, at least in my coaching community, to describe. Do you remember when like it doesn't happen as much anymore, but like
the spinning wheel of death.
the spinning wheel of death would, you would just have to kind of like wait while the website buffered and like got there, like
right,
caught
or that
up.
loading line.
Exactly. And I think a lot of us ADHDers spend a good amount of time in that buffering zone. But what we use it to describe in my coaching community is more like anything that I do to take me out of the present moment and into like this holding pattern. It's like the holding pattern is the buffering. So maybe it's scrolling Instagram, maybe it's eating or drinking or whatever the case
A
may be.
nap. Mine's a nap.
A nap, exactly. Right? Like if I can avoid and buffer for a little bit and not have to engage with reality, not have to engage with those feelings, not have to engage with the tension, it is such a relief.
Yeah.
It is such a relief. It doesn't lead anywhere productive.
Yeah, 1,000%. I saw this
But
great
it is a
line
relief.
by Dr. Judd Brewer, I think. He has a book called Unraveling Anxiety. And he has this really powerful line. He says, the greatest addiction known to mankind is avoidance.
Ooh, that is powerful. And also, I don't like how much that is true for myself.
I don't mind it. To me, it's liberating. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Mm.
That's me.
Before someone with ADHD really has like an awakening or an understanding, I see the cycle of ambiguity that as being, at least for me personally, the way that I spent decades of my life.
That's the way I still sometimes spend days of my life.
Sure.
I'll be scrolling through like I don't know, like supposed to be writing my book, right?
Mhm.
And I'll be cleaning up, doing laundry, like like me, my wife's really happy, like sweet, right? But like this is not what I should be doing right now. This is not the best use of my time, and it's really that avoidance of potential judgment of like even myself judging myself that like I'm gonna
Totally.
be sitting there in front of the screen going, I don't even know how to make this make sense.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. So walk me through the next cycle.
Sure. The next cycle is really kind of like the antidote, like the way to kind of like the solution, right? So if the cycle of ambiguity is our problem cycle, right? So then the next cycle is the solution cycle.
Mm.
You're smiling.
I just am excited to hear about it.
It's awesome. So it starts with something really deep and not so sexy, acceptance.
Yeah.
Being able to accept yourself. The way I kind of define authentic acceptance is being able to see and accept all of the good, because we have a lot of good.
Mhm.
Like, let's not knock ourselves. The bad, we're very aware of that. And everything in between.
Mhm.
Like all of us, the entirety of us is really someone who's still trying to show up, right?
Mhm.
Even with all of our fears, even with all of our failures, we're still trying to show up.
Mm.
And that person is worthy of being seen.
Yeah.
So that's that first stage. It's not so sexy because it's not a go get 'em kind of thing. It's more of like a kind of internal chill. I usually recommend doing that with like a 3-6 breathing, like 3 seconds in through your nose. I'm going to do one now because last time it really helped. And then 6 seconds out through my mouth. See, I already feel better. This idea of like kind of grounding ourselves in
Mhm.
our own reality, that like when you zoom out to see the bigger picture, which is what you're going to do in the next stage, right, of acuity, right, it's like it's the real truth. People often say, oh, you're telling me to lie to myself. No, I would never tell you to do that. You can't build a foundation on a lie. You just
Mhm.
can't. You can't build a life on a lie. I mean, you could, but it unravels really fast, right? This is not a lie. This is the truth. It's an uncomfortable truth, because with that truth comes responsibility.
Mm.
When you're able to see yourself as someone who is capable, who is able to get stuff done, because you have done some things, right? You're still here now, you're still alive, still fighting. You could do something. It's an uncomfortable truth. Yeah, it is. And it's not like this like balm that's gonna be like feel good and then like, oh yeah. It doesn't provide that instant relief of avoidance, but it does provide something deeper, like a real soothing
Mm.
and a real being seen.
I find that acceptance is one of the biggest barriers for my clients.
Because they've never been accepted.
Mhm.
It's a language they don't yet know. And like learning any new language, it takes time.
Makes me so angry. I get angry when you say that because I know it's true and it makes me so
Yeah,
angry.
that makes sense because it's unfair. Right? Anger is our response to injustice.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. None of us did anything when we were so little to deserve feeling so unworthy. And like this, because it's a new language, we don't even know the words. We could
Mhm.
say the words, but like with an accent or like not even knowing what they mean. Like it's just it doesn't like fit. It's
Yeah.
like trying to speak a different language, but you're saying the right thing on whatever Google app told you, but like it's just not, you're not
Yeah.
communicating. In a way, like, yeah, I agree with you. I would lean into that injustice because it
Mhm.
really isn't fair. It really isn't. I hate when patients tell me, yeah, my dad, disciplined, he would hit me, but like only when I deserved it. What does that even mean when you deserved it? Which child deserves to be beaten? Which child? Tell me which child. Oh, they were really bad. They lit the school on fire. Yeah, that's something that you should really look into and see what's going on.
Mhm.
When a child is doing something really abnormal,
Mhm.
there's an even greater impetus inside that child. Figure it out. What's that pain?
Mhm.
What's pushing them? What's
Mhm.
happening? Understand this child. Don't just beat them into compliance.
Mhm. So many feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. The ability to build acceptance requires being accepted. And I think that's why a relationship with somebody like you, with a professional, with a coach, with a therapist, maybe those types of relationships can be really important in setting the foundation for acceptance, because for some people, it's the first time that they've felt seen and accepted at the same time.
Yeah. You unlocked my cab driver story.
Go.
Cab driver story is when we were coming back from the airport over our summer break. And my wife has this thing where she always tries to convince the cab drivers to convince me to move there. And so he's like trying in his broken English to like get me to move in. So he's like, "Oh, what do you do?" So I said, "I'm a psychologist." He goes, "I'm also a psychologist." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, people, they come, they tell me their stories, right? Their
Mm,
pain, their struggles." He's like, "But it's very heavy. It's very heavy for me.
mm,
It's too heavy." And I said, "It's not that heavy for me." He goes, "What?" I said, "You and I are very different. You're only seeing their pain. You're only feeling the weight of their problem. And then that's it. You drop them off at the airport and they fly away with the rest of their story. And you never know how that story ended. But I do.
yeah,
And I've seen it 1,000 times because in your problem, I also see your solution.
yeah,
I also have seen you overcome that. I've seen so many people in your situation overcome that, right? You're smiling because
yeah.
I bet you have
It's
that
the
experience too.
best. It's the
We're like,
best.
we see the whole picture and we see this person as just in a, like, kind of in that spot in that bigger journey. And we see their success already
Yeah,
before they've even seen it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're so right. And walking side by side, so to speak, th- with someone in that journey is the greatest gift. It's the greatest gift.
It's like being a guide,
Yeah.
right? Like those Mount Everest guides. These
Yeah.
guys, like they're climbing up Mount Everest every day. It's just like, oh, clocking in at work. Or I
Yeah.
gotta take up these 6 British guys who
So
want to feel
true.
awesome about themselves, right? And then like no one puts them in the Guinness Book, right? But then
Right.
the other guy, yeah, I got to the
Right.
top. Meanwhile, who got you there, right?
Right.
Someone who's been there 1,000 times. And I kind of view ourselves as that. Like
Yeah.
we're that guide. We've climbed that mountain a
Yeah.
million times, and we've helped so many other people climb that mountain too.
That's so good. I'm obsessed. Okay, get to the next. So I
So
think
we did
we were
acceptance,
at
which is huge.
acceptance. Yep.
That's the foundation that allows you to then, right, just even on a biological level, it's a neurophysiological calm, right? You're
Yes.
like reducing that arousal, that fight or flight in you, and you're just like,
Mhm.
and when the stress kind of when like we kind of lower those levels in us, we're then able to actually like think, and our brain comes back online, and you can do the next stage, which is acuity. Acuity is a hard word. It's really just clarity, but I needed it to start with an A.
Of course.
Right. So, duh. So, acuity is what I call zooming out to zoom in. So, where you zoom out to see the whole picture. Okay, crap. I have this appointment, right, that I got to get to, and I'm late. All right. My kid needs to get out to the bus. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. Let's say I come a couple of minutes late. End of the world. I'll apologize. I'll probably have to give him like a couple of minutes afterwards and then push back everyone
Hmm.
for the rest of the day, right? But that's all right until my break, and I'll eat into probably lunchtime. But after 3 or 4 like clients, right, I should be back on track, right? But meanwhile, my kid, right, if I lose it now and start like getting all like, you gotta get out, and dragging them out, shaming them into getting out to the bus on time, like
Yes.
what's like so like zooming out to see the bigger picture
Mhm.
allows you to zoom back in to focus on what do I need to be doing right now? What's
Mhm.
best for me now? What do I really want to be doing
So
in this
good.
moment
Yep.
here? So
So
that's what
good.
acuity is. It's that zoom out to zoom in, being able to
Hmm.
zoom out, see the big picture, And again, right, this is what I was saying with acceptance, like just zooming out on yourself, like on a macro level, like,
Yes.
hey, am I really that dumpster fire I really feel like I
Right.
am?
Have I physically harmed anyone in the last week? No. Okay. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And even if you did, like, that's something to kind of introspect on and to
Wow,
kind
that
of be
is
like, hey,
generous.
you know, I'm saying I just met someone this week who
Yeah.
did that,
Hmm.
and he cried. He cried in
Hmm.
his car about
Hmm.
like, you can't believe he's such a horrible person.
Hmm.
That's really beautiful. Like to me, like the fact that A, you're cried about it, B, that you're sitting here telling me about it, not just like pushing it
Hmm.
down into your subconscious, right? Or trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
That's brave. That's huge to man up and look at the ugliest part of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
That's just so strong. That's so beautiful. That's so human.
Hmm. Okay. And then acuity leads us to.
To agency. Now, agency is like this idea of like having power, right? So like FBI agent, right? So it means I'm an agent of the state. I have
Yeah.
the power of the state. I have the power of whatever it is that I'm representing. So the reason why I call it the cycle of agency and not the cycle of acceptance actually always bothered me, because really it is all about acceptance, or it could always be about acuity. But the real answer is because this is all nice, but I just want to be able to do the stupid thing.
Yes.
So that's why it's called agency, because this is what gives you that energy, that boost
Yeah.
to be like, all right, damn it, now I could do it. Right. And once you zoom that and you realize, okay, right, it's not so crazy. So I'll be late. I'll be late. All right, I'll be late. All right, sweet. All right, honey, where are your shoes? All right, let me help you out. You can't find your other one? All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna shame you into like, why didn't you leave it by the door?
Yeah.
Right? Let me help you out. I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got this. Right. Also, now I could do it. I could be the me I wanted to be.
Hmm.
So that's what agency. It's called the cycle of agency because it gets you to where you really want to be.
I'm really glad you said that because I think everyone listening just wants to do the dang thing.
Just do the
They
damn thing.
just want to be able to do the thing. And so sitting and listening to two people who are kind of like obsessed with these ideas and just like I could talk about acceptance all day long and what it takes to like build self-acceptance. And I think sometimes the listener might just be like, can you just tell me how to do the thing? And like, of course, we know that those are the steps. So it's like, okay, if you want to do, like, let's back it up. If you want to do the thing, if you want to have the agency, you need the acuity, which means you need the acceptance, right? So it's like building on everything. And that's how you do the damn thing.
Which gets us to the last A of that cycle of agency, which is the action.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes Nike nailed
Just
it here.
do it.
Just do it. Right. Once you like have that clarity of, oh, right, this is what I need to do.
Mhm.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Ari Tuckman has a great line in his book, The ADHD Guide to Productivity, or the ADHD Productivity Guide. He calls the best way to start is to start, right? Just starting. That's it. Start. It doesn't matter how, right? In fact, like I often say that all of my like shticks and tricks are just to help you start. That's
Yes.
it. Like, remember, I think we spoke about self-seduction last time,
Yeah.
right? Being able to seduce yourself to do it, either by like the two levers of human behavior, right? So it's either you increase the incentive, or you make it like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, right? Or you reduce the resistance. All right, listen, I'm just gonna do the first sentence of the report. That's all. And then I could go for a snack.
Yes.
Right. So if the idea is all these tips and shticks, the cycles, all that is just to get you to start the damn thing. Because get this funny statistic. People who start the damn thing are so much more likely to finish the damn thing.
Really?
Crazy, right?
Is there data on that?
Oh my God.
It's so good and it's so true. And the cycle of ambiguity is just what keeps us stuck in an avoidance and just in that anxiety of just like, I just need to do it, but I can't do it. And it's so pervasive in our lives. And if we can just like move through the cycle of agency, whew, there's just a lot of A's. You have to admit.
Too many.
You have to admit.
It is too many. That's why when you said agitation, I was like, oh my God, it's overloaded. System
too
overload.
many
System
A's.
overload. Yeah.
That's so good. That's so great.
And someone told me I should call this the A team. I'm like, no.
Come on.
It would be funny.
That would be
but
pretty fun.
It would be, but then
You
I
could
get
have,
the
like,
copyright problem.
Mr. T
I
is
know,
the
right?
like on the book
It
cover.
would be hilarious.
That would be pretty
That's
fun.
okay, yeah.
So you've recently added a cycle to the mix.
Yes.
Tell
I
me
did.
what's important about the next cycle we're going to talk about.
Okay, so before we even start, I just want to give a shout out to Chandra, my book editor and guide.
Mm.
She was going through my like table of contents, and like obviously I had a million A's, and she's like, "So this last set of A's, is that like a third cycle?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, damn it, you're right."
Oh my gosh, that's so
There are
great.
more A's out there.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. Then on the like 16-hour plane ride to our summer vacation, I was just pacing up and down the airplane holding my baby, just like going through it, and just like also shout out to all the random passengers on flight 216 who allowed me to just like kind of just speak it out with them, like, you know, wherever they let us stand and congregate. So I was just like kind of pacing back and forth, like swirling these ideas together. And yeah, talking it out to random strangers who, again,
As we do.
right? I can't believe people put up with us.
Yeah.
But whatever. So that's where I realized that there's a third cycle that helps us just zoom out from just doing the damn thing and taking back our whole life.
I mean, that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah. So I call this one the cycle of accountability. Trigger word. Accountability.
Yeah, I'm already out.
Yeah. Accountability is a bad word for many of us.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like we instantly like cringe, like, oh crap, what did I forget? But again, similar to acceptance, right? Authentic accountability, the way I'm defining accountability, is holding yourself accountable to what matters. Meaning when things matter, we do them. Like you show up to work because the paycheck matters, right? Like you show up for your family because they matter. We often don't really show up for ourselves, but we should show up for ourselves because we matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it really does make sense. And I'm curious, like, what it has been your thought process throughout.
Basically what I was trying to wonder is like, wait, so like, it's great that we have this awesome cycle of accountability that explains why we screw up so much. Check. We have the cycle of agency to help us do the damn thing. Check. But how do we deal with this like feeling of like, when am I going to drop the ball next? When am I ever going to pull it all together? Am I living the life I want to live? Like, why do I not like I'm so busy, but I don't feel productive. I just my whole life is spinning so fast, and I'm just like, where the hell am I going?
Yeah.
That was what was bothering me. That's the thought process behind it is how do we get our life on track? Otherwise, it's great. You could use my cycle of agency to do a ton of things and avoid your family.
Yes, that's so true. So the cycle of accountability helps you to do what matters most to you.
Yeah, or a cute line I just thought of right now is the cycle of accountability helps you use the cycles of clarity responsibly.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please use responsibly. So that's what that does is the cycle of accountability kind of zooms out and takes these powerful tools of the cycle of ambiguity and the cycle of agency and helps you kind of direct it towards what really matters.
So can you walk us through it?
Of course, yeah. So again, brand new, so I may need a little bit of time to kind of
This
spell
is
things
so
out.
fun.
It's really fresh. First time ever being
You're
first time in
kidding.
public, yeah. From plane to
You're hearing
podcast.
it here first
First time.
folks.
So it starts off with alignment. Alignment is exactly what it sounds like. Think Spice Girls. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what do you really, really want? It's called like a line, like you need to get your tires aligned. You know,
Yeah.
they all have to like go in order so you can go where you need to go. It's the same idea, right? Which is identifying your core values, like what really matters to me. And then that allows us to now have like an acuity, like a zoom out of like, where do I want to end up? Where do I want to zoom back into? So it's trying to identify like, what are your ethos? What are your personal ethos? Like, who am I? What do I stand for? Mine, for instance, is truth, responsibility, and appreciation, like gratitude. It's interesting. Like I have this story of called the crepe fiasco. The crepe fiasco happened
The
again.
fact that you name your memories,
The only way.
it is a memory, but you're like, listen, I gave it a name, and it's called the crepe fiasco.
And now we have a relationship.
And now it's a thing. Go on.
So the crepe fiasco again also happened on summer vacation. Apparently a lot of crazy things happen on our annual summer vacation. It's just an unstructured time when
Sure.
all things are,
Sure.
off. Yeah, summer vacations. Vacations in general are just a
I mean,
real
they're
vulnerable
so
time
tough.
for me and my
Yes.
family. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. Let me just pull myself
And
together there.
breathe.
Like, yeah, oh my gosh. That unstructured, oh my God.
Mhm.
Like, I get relieved when I come back home to the structure of like
Of
work. Oh
course.
my God, thank God. Get the kids on the bus.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I can breathe.
Yeah.
So, great fiasco is we were rushing to like one of these like tourist things, like where you like, gotta see it. We're running there and we're late, and my wife's anxiety's flaring up. And, like, I don't know why this always ends up, but like Miss Anxiety marries Mr. ADHD. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's all cool. Got plenty of time. It's all good.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, they close in 4 minutes, right? So we're rushing there. And I thought of a brilliant idea to calm my wife's anxiety. Get this awesome husband hack. Ready? She loves crepes. There's a little cute boutique bakery on the way. Why don't we stop for a crepe?
You
Brilliant.
didn't.
I know, knucklehead, but listen, husbands, whatever. We learn on the job. They never taught us. So there should be a license, by the way. Like you have to do 50 hours before you get your driver's license. There should
100%.
be at least 50 hours before you get your marriage license. I'm advocating for that
100%.
one
Yeah.
here. So, but knowing obviously that there's time pressure here, I thought, oh, I have a great idea. I took my phone and slammed it on the counter. And I said, could you do this in 90 seconds or less?
Right.
Yeah, of course. What do you want? For you, of course. Right? And he puts, he's like, yes. I put the timer in 90 seconds. And I told my wife, what? It's just 90 seconds, right? And then you have a crepe, everyone will be happy, and we'll still make it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we get to like, clock's ticking, literally ticking, right? The kids start fetching. And so I'm like, all right, they also sell ice cream here. We'll get everyone ice cream. All right, very nice. They have this like cute thing where you put the ice cream on a cookie. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, for like $17. Like also I couldn't get the conversion rate. So like I was just like, whatever, just get it. And,
Right.
yeah, I'll
Take
figure
all
this
my
out later.
money.
Yeah, swipe. But we get to like, like around this like 60-second mark. It's already been a minute. I'm like, are you guys ready yet? Oh, yeah, a few minutes. You told me 90 seconds. That's not minutes. That's a minute and a half. You don't even get the S over there on the minutes.
Right.
So he's like, yeah. So now I'm feeling stupid because it's all kind of
Starting to set in.
Yeah, knucklehead. So I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but the way I get when I feel that like surge of shame when I know I screwed up and it's undeniably like my fault, I kind of shut down or freak out. So in this case, I did an instant shutdown, which was like, oh my God, then blamed it obviously on them because it's their fault. They told me they could. They lied. Right. And, but at the same time had enough radical honesty to know that it was, right here. So, I start losing it. Like steam. You ever seen that person like bugging out in the middle of the street and you're like, oh, kids, look away.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was me, big
Shoot.
professor at Columbia. I was that guy,
Yeah.
literally steam coming out of my ears and bugging out. Now, like, I think my son, like his ice cream was like melting and he didn't like the cookies. He's crumbling it everywhere. And like,
Yeah.
that's a $17 ice cream, damn it. And, crepe's not ready. We're getting later and later to this appointment and I'm just freaking the hell out. So I remember I'm like standing there, like hyperventilating, like a EDP, an emotionally disturbed person. And I see my daughter looking at me, my oldest, like just looking at her. In her eyes, I saw the terror. She's like, what the hell is happening? And that was like the flash of lightning. Oh my God, they need me. Yeah. These little babies, they need me. Yeah. They need me. They need me to pull my, together and to be here, to be present. And I did my 3-6. Yeah, probably look like a mad weirdo, but so worth it.
Yes.
Kind of pulled myself together, right? Slammed some money on the counter and told him keep the crepe.
Yeah.
We'll be moving on.
Yeah.
We got an attraction to make. I don't know if I fully lived it down yet, but the lessons definitely stick with me. I think the cool part about that is that in that flash, right, when I looked at her, it activated that core value of responsibility. Yeah. I couldn't have gotten there without truth, right, without that radical honesty. But like, it's not about the clarity per se as much as it's the connection to my values. Yeah. This is who I really want to be. I want to be someone who's there for my kiddos. I want to be someone who's able to take ownership when he's screwing it up.
Hmm.
And so it was that connection to my core values, being aligned with me.
Hmm. I feel like I felt every step of that story. It deserved a name.
Thanks.
It deserved a name. Yeah. Yeah. Well worth it. Everyone with ADHD knows what to do to improve their lives. You go to bed at a reasonable time and you wake up early, make a list, cross the things off the list in order, manage your time well. Yeah, we know what to do. But ADHD is not a disorder of not knowing what to do. It's a disorder of knowing exactly what to do, but not being able to get yourself to do it. That's why ADHD is so frustrating. We're smart and we want to succeed, but we can't get ourselves to do the things that we know we should do in order to make improvements. That's why I created Focused. I'm a life coach with multiple certifications, and since 2019, I've spent thousands of hours coaching adults with ADHD. Time for me to focus on you. Hello. Welcome to your coaching call. I am going to be coaching you today on relationships. I know what it takes to help an adult with ADHD go from hot mess express to grounded and thriving. Focused is my monthly coaching membership where we go deep and we get to the root cause of what holds us back with ADHD. I'll teach you how to understand your ADHD brain, regulate your emotions, and accept yourself, flaws and all. With this foundation, we build the skills to improve life with ADHD. And not only do you get skills and tools in Focused, but you're surrounded by a huge community of adults with ADHD who are also doing the work of self-development right alongside of you. Dr. Ned Hallowell says healing happens in community, and I have absolutely found this to be true. As a matter of fact, listen to what actual Focus members have to say about being in this program.
What can I say about Focused? Full community of people who have issues similar to you, and no one judge you.
Focused has really supported me with my difficulties and asking for help. I've been encouraged and cheered on by the community.
I really like that you can do as much or as little as you want. It's not just about the volume of the content, it's about the quality.
Focus has helped me understand ADHD better.
I would recommend this to anyone.
I would thoroughly recommend Focused.
I can confidently say that this is one of the best decisions that I have made for myself.
So if you're an adult with ADHD who wants to figure out how to be motivated from the inside out and make real lasting changes in your life, join hundreds of others from around the world in Focused. Click the link in the episode description to check it out. Alignment and being able to connect to self in the midst of all of that chaos, it really shows. I mean, obviously, I've not been a part of your growth or seen your growth, but it shows how much you have like evolved and developed over time to be able to access self and alignment to self in the midst of the chaos is a huge, huge skill.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a skill. A skill implies that it's something I do well. It's something I've done.
But it's something
and I
that
try to
a skill is something that you can learn and develop, wouldn't you say?
Touche.
Yeah.
All right, you win on this one.
Yeah. Because, for anyone who relates to being under-nurtured or under-parented, I think that the connection to self in those big moments or that seems impossible. And so being able to access that eventually is something to really look forward to.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really it gives you back the gift of life, the gift of yourself. Like you now are living your life. Like even if you just took alignment, like even if like you walk away with, he had some new cycle, something about like alignment or tires, I don't know what, right? Just that I think is valuable. Just like aligning yourself with your values, getting clarity on what matters to you.
Huge.
Just that.
What is the next step after alignment?
So alignment, right? Once you know what matters to you, right? Now you can hold yourself accountable because like that's where I want to be. Like that's what matters to me. Remember the paycheck thing, right? So now your values become that paycheck. Your values are like that matters. I want that. I want to get there. And that's the beauty of this new authentic accountability is no one's forcing you to get here.
Yeah.
You could be a douchebag husband. You could be a negligent EDP father who loses it in public more often than once. That you could, right? It's your choice. Thank God you have free will, right? Great country, right? Free will. You could choose whatever you want. But here it's you choosing you. And so when we have alignment, we have something to hold ourselves accountable to ourselves, to our values, to what really matters to us.
Mm. I'm obsessed.
You should be. It's great. And then it gets even better. The next part is once something matters to us, we pay attention to it.
Oh, yeah.
The third A is attention.
Yeah.
So it goes from alignment to accountability to attention.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what we all want? Attention deficit, right? Like we want that. We want attention. And this is where it gets super deep. Ready? I have this like little bit in my book called, this is not a memory I'm naming. It's like a little bit. The brain or body dilemma.
Okay.
The brain or body dilemma is like an imaginative scenario that unfortunately some people do have to actually choose, but hopefully for everyone listening, this is just imaginary. Imagine the person you love the most in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Picture?
Mm-hmm.
Now that person's being taken to the hospital and the doctors tell you he or she, he, is going to live, but we could only save the brain or their body.
Wow.
It's up to you. Which one?
I mean, I would save his brain in a second.
Right?
Yep.
Especially if he could still touch, hug, listen,
Right.
see, and hear you. But what's crazy about this is even if he couldn't, right? Let's say when he loses his body, he loses it all. He can't see you. He can't hear you. He can't touch you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you choose?
Oh, see and hear would be tough.
Think about it.
I mean, can he talk to me? No. I don't want to choose. I'm opting out.
He can know you. He can know you're there.
Okay.
Remember, his brain is fully alert.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would still choose brain.
Which means that even though that he can't give you a hug, he can't give you a kiss, he can't even say or hear, I love you, you'd still just want his presence.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's like mind-blowing, like the depth of like how much our attention is us. Your attention is you. You are your attention.
I'm processing all of it. That is wildly deep.
And it gets even crazier if you think of attention deficit disorder. It means that it's a self-deficit disorder. We're not here. We're not present in our own life. We're all over. We're the funniest person in the world and we do so many things and we accomplish so much, but we're not here.
Yeah.
It's not us.
Yeah.
There's no self yet.
Yeah.
Until we align ourselves with who we are and align ourselves with who we want to be and hold ourselves accountable to us, then and only then can we pay attention to us. And our attention is us. You are your attention. It's like mind-blowing to like realize that like advertisers know this. They spend millions to get your attention because then they get you.
Yeah.
Reclaim your attention. Take it back. It's yours. It's yours. You have a birthright to your attention. It's yours. You own this. And only you can give it away.
You have a birthright to your attention. How does somebody with ADHD, with attention deficit disorder, navigate or hold that truth that they have a birthright to their attention and yet there's a deficit there? It feels, again, that sense of injustice is really coming up for me.
It's huge. Don't worry, there's a solution. The solution is the last part of this cycle of accountability, which is attachment. That when we start paying attention to ourselves, when we start being ourselves, the more you pay attention to you, the more you become. Which means the more present you are in your life and in the life of those you love. And then it becomes a positive feedback loop. The more present you are for the him in your life, right? For those special people in your life, you're going to get it right back. You give is what you get. And like, as you can be more you, they'll give it back to you. Like they'll appreciate having more of you there. Just like if you were the one in the hospital bed, they just want you. That's it. They don't want your accomplishments. They don't want your paycheck. They don't want your hugs and kisses. They just want you. They love you. Leaning into that love truth, that lived truth of love helps you feel that truth that you may, for some people, have never experienced before in their life. Yeah. And this allows you to get that feedback that you do matter and that you are lovable. You're worth it. Insane, right?
Huge. You've been mentioning attachment a ton. Walk me through kind of like where you're at with what you're learning on attachment and why it's so important. So, is the thesis that you're kind of working off that your attention is you and it's not actually available to you without attachment?
In some ways,
Okay.
full disclosure, right? You can develop attachment on your own. You can. It is, I guess, physically possible. Just a lot harder. I like quoting the Bible on this one because I think it's an irreverent use of it. But like the Bible in Genesis says, it is not good for man to be alone, meaning mankind. Although probably mostly men because those guys need to be watched.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, women are fine. Which is, it's not good for us to not have an attachment figure. If we've never had someone love us, if we've never learned that language of love and acceptance and safety, then yeah, it will be very, very hard. But the good news is we live in a beautiful world filled with so many beautiful people. Yeah. There's so many good people out there. Maybe it was your preschool teacher who just thought you were cute, right? They didn't have to deal with your tantrums at home, right? Or it was a third grade teacher that thought you were the most delicious kid in the class, right? Or a professor who was like wowed by your intellect, right? A clergy member, an uncle, an aunt, a cousin who was like they were stuck playing with you and ended up liking you, right? Just having one person unlocks that language of love, unlocks that like mental map. Because if you think about it, if we zoom out, how am I supposed to learn to love if I don't know? I've heard the song on the radio, right? But like if you don't know what it means, if it's a language you don't know, how can you experience something that you don't know? You don't know what that is. You need to have tasted it, right? And so again, thank God we live in a world filled with so many amazing, beautiful people who are trying their best, just like you. And all you need is one of them to kind of unlock that, to activate it in you. Just one person.
Do you think most people with ADHD identify as not having experienced love?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I just know that a lived lifetime of never really fitting in, always kind of being a little bit off, a little bit different, could leave its scars. Like a lifetime of feeling like a misfit. I don't know. You tell me. How's that going to turn out?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is so unpleasant to exist in a world where no matter where you go, you just feel like you are performing, but not actually authentically you.
Because you're afraid to expose your real self. Yeah. Because you're afraid of that judgment. Right? Remember the scanning? Yeah. Always scanning for threat or perceived threat. Like you're afraid. What if they find out the real me, that I prepared this like literally 4 minutes before I walked in here, or that like this is so last minute that like I don't even know what it says in here, right? Like it's scary. It's really scary. It's scary to be seen if you've never been seen with safety.
Talk to me about safety. I don't think that, I'll speak for myself. Before I kind of, let's just be honest, went to therapy, I didn't understand the concept of safety. I thought it was frivolous. I kind of rolled my eyes when people said the word safety. I was just like, what do you even mean? What are you talking about? I understand now that I was very disconnected from myself, and that I was in a lot of unsafe relationships that told me they were safe, because a lot of unsafe people like to tell you how safe they are in not so many words, but the actions didn't match their words. And so I would love for you to describe what you mean when you say safety, because I'm not sure that everybody would really understand or like have a framework for that.
Good point. Yeah. I mean, it goes exactly like I was saying about language. We can know the words, but not know the word. Because it's really about feeling the word. That's the table, right? Like a feel table, but like love. How do you feel love if you don't have love? If you never touched love, or love never touched you? The answer is that safety is the experience of feeling seen, like all of you being seen and contained. That's it.
What do you mean by contained?
Seen and contained. Like, I have a delicious, yummy girl who is our very child, which means she has very emotions. She's either very excited, right, or very mad.
Mhm.
And her feelings are very intense. I don't know if anyone can relate. And she is delicious, right? And at the same time, this is a girl who needs to feel safety. She needs to feel that even when she's thrashing on the ground, kicking us, biting, screaming, "No one loves me. Everyone hates me.
Mm.
I hate you. You're not my parents." Awkward when she says that on the bus. True story. So your name is Greg. It's not. I'm Nacchi. And like in that moment, like I remember watching my wife, who's like literally a goddess, like kind of doing what I advise parents, right? I call this playful engagement, right? Where you just like, she's like, "Oh, so daddy's Greg, and what's my name? Gertrude." I like the G and G, imagine, right? Like she's kind of like entering her world. So it means I'm seeing you in your ugliest, darkest moment.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing you and I'm containing you. And I'm good. I'm
Mm.
okay with all of you.
Mm.
That's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be on a beach. Doesn't have to be in like some safe room.
Right.
This was on the floor of a public bus in a different country. Yeah, summer vacation again, how'd you know? With her screaming, "You're not my parents," right?
Yeah.
And like, "You're kidnapping me," or like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
like nothing you ever want your kid to do in a foreign country, in any country.
Sure. What might an example be in an adult relationship of being seen and contained?
Um, I was going to give an awkward example that's not fair
Okay.
to share about my wife, so instead I shall do it about myself. Um, I am also, I guess, a highly sensitive person
Mm.
and have very extreme feelings. Um, in a way, right? I think the defining hallmark of our relationship is something actually inspired by your questionnaire. You have a question on your questionnaire, which was your relationship survey,
Mhm.
where you asked, "What's one thing you would want to tell your spouse?" And I'm sitting there filling it out at like 2 a.m. And I look over at my wife who's sleeping and I go, "You know what I would say?" This is more for me to spell it out. Otherwise, it's gone. Like another one of the millions of thoughts in my head. I would say that the single most valuable gift you've given me is your acceptance of me.
Mm.
She's been with me through all of my very extreme emotions, my highly dysregulated self. And in a way has able to kind of see all that and contain all that. Again, not be okay with all that,
Sure.
but contain it. Meaning she kind of accepted me. She accepted who I was. She accepted the good, the bad, and everything in between. It's that experience of
Yeah.
feeling accepted. Being able to cry and be like a snivelly, snot-filled mess with grossness in your hair, like with your head sweating on his shoulder, and still feel not like, ugh, right?
Yeah.
But like held
Yeah.
and seen and accepted. That's safety.
That reminds me of an example, as somebody with what I would have previously called very severe ADHD and not well treated. I really struggled in relationships and like friendships with women. And there were times when I felt really close and connected. And then there were most of the times, though, I felt I was always on shaky ground and always had to like make sure, like, are we good? Am I good? Did I say something wrong? And I did a lot of over explaining. And I had one friend, and still to this day, she is my very dearest friend. She would text me after we would all go out, and she would say, like, "It seemed like you were uncomfortable at this point, but I just want to let you know you were totally fine. You have nothing to worry about." And just like
Right.
a reassurance,
Safety.
like, you're totally good. You don't have to worry about anything. And she did that enough for me to be like, okay, we are good. Like, there is nothing that I can do that is going to like alarm her, right? Or like, okay, Kristen, like that is like, she's always just going to be very straight with me and just, yeah, like to
That's
be
safety.
known and accepted. Yeah.
In a way, what my wife says that she's like one of the defining features of like our relationship and what she really was attracted to me is that she's like, "You're so honest that I don't think you could lie to me." And so that feels really safe because I know that I'm always going to know what you're feeling towards me. I'm always
Yes.
going to know. And in a way, like that being straight, that being like
Mhm.
honest, that radical honesty really provides safety.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. So, just as a recap, how does attachment help us to have attention?
Brilliant. So let's go back to that last cycle of accountability, right? So it started with that alignment with who
Mhm.
and what really matters to us.
Mhm.
Once we have that, that allows us to hold ourselves accountable by what matters to us,
Yeah.
right? Which then we pay attention to what matters to us because it matters to us. And then we become more present, more of ourself. And then we are enhancing and developing our attachment to those people that matter to us, which then enhances our alignment because now I'm being held by these people. I'm contained by these people.
Yeah.
What that does for you is it allows you to not only connect with yourself, but to now live your life by your values, to live with you. And now you could harness, right, the cycle of ambiguity through this
Mm.
lens of like, and I'm okay, even though I'm like totally going down like doom
Yes.
scrolling city, right? Like I'm okay, yeah, and I'm still good. I'm seen, I'm accepted. I know that there's someone in that other room
Mhm.
who loves me and thinks, yeah, I'm great, yeah, he'll get that project done, whatever, he's
Yeah.
fine, last minute or whatever,
Mhm.
right? And then when I have that, I could borrow from that, I could live off that, I could feel contained by that to more easily and frequently lean into that cycle of agency to accept myself
Mhm.
and to zoom out and see the bigger picture that I'm okay.
Mhm.
I'm good enough. The
Mhm.
takeaway of like the whole cycles of clarity should be that one feeling of I'm good enough.
Hmm. It's so good. Just sitting with it. It's so good. What if people are listening and evaluating their relationships and they're thinking, I don't know if I have anybody or I have anyone to contain, all that I am. I don't know if I have a safe relationship. What encouragement do you have for somebody listening who's a little bit fuzzy on that?
Great question. The first thing I would do is I would say breathe.
Mhm.
Recognizing that you recognize that is already huge, right?
Yeah.
That means that there's a flicker of yourself in here that's starting to reawaken. That's trying to like, wait a minute, I matter. I
Yeah.
matter. And I want to feel like I matter. That is a tiny spark. That's
Mm.
huge, huge.
Mm.
It allows you to start. And then whatever you can do to fan the flames of your own self, right? Either by, looking at those people who do that for you, hang out with those people more, or even therapy or coaching, what I
Yeah.
call rent the relationship, right? Like that could help you develop it a little bit more. And so that it could give you back that gift of attention, that gift of
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
The more you can be, the more you could then feel that attachment, the more present you could be in your relationships. Really, I would say, like, do both an in and out. Like, look inside you, appreciate you, that you're feeling that and that you're starting to be aware of you, invest in you. And as you do that, right, allow yourself to pull from the external, from outside, other things to feed that fire, to feed that flame, so that one day you could roar. You could be
Yep.
a real, like, you could just be and
Mm.
feel good and feel accepted.
Yeah.
And feel like you're you.
Yeah. I don't think that can be overstated that some of us have to pay for it.
It's not your fault.
I did.
Me too. Hey.
I did. I had to go rent
I still
several
pay for it.
relationships. Same.
Yeah.
Some people have relational privilege and other people don't. And if you don't, that's okay. But if you have the ability to pay for it, do it. I remember even when I was going through a season of relational transition and just really trying to invest in myself and figure stuff out. I would get a weekly massage. I would get a monthly pedicure, not because I'm necessarily a girl's girl. I don't do it anymore, but it was a time where I needed to pay for nurturing.
Yeah. And the power of touch is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Just having another human who's
Yes.
touching you in a positive way.
Yes.
It's interesting. I got into like an argument with with like a very like prominent religious leader. We agreed to disagree. I really have a lot of respect for him. Just called him on the way here actually to thank him for that conversation. And he was saying that he doesn't like the idea that um, therapists or coaches disclose in the therapeutic
Interesting.
relationship. He feels like the therapist or the coach is supposed to maintain a certain level of strength so that the client could borrow from that strength and could kind of be grounded by it. And again, very thought out position.
Sure.
I hear it. He's wrong, and I told him why he's wrong. Which is
Yeah, I
that
agree.
he was like, his argument to me was because you're not really friends, right? And as soon as the relationship's over, as soon as the friendship is over, it's gone. You move on. And I said, I think that you're mistaking the feelings of friendship for a relationship, because that relationship never ends. I still have like all of the therapeutic experiences I've had.
Yes.
Still, they're in me. And what it's given me the gift is the gift of me, having someone relate to me. So having someone see me so that I could feel seen and heard. That relationship built me. We are built by relationships. It is not good for man to be alone. We need relationships, and those relationships build us, and we carry them with us forever.
I've just loved every second of this, and I wish we had a whole other hour to keep going, but you are writing a book, or you've completed a book.
Yep.
Wrote
Should be
it.
out there.
It's done. Okay. So for anyone who is just like, I need more, I am dying to get my hands on this, tell us about your book and how we can get our hands on it.
Awesome. My book is kind of walking you through the entire cycles of clarity, right? It's going to walk you through the cycle of ambiguity so you can kind of get where your bearings and figure out, knowing the problem's half the solution, right? Then kind of how to move yourself through the cycle of agency to feel that energy to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then finally, the cycle of accountability. It's going to help you kind of reclaim your life, to get back you. The book walks you through that and like really like step by step, carry you slow and steady. It's written by someone with ADHD, so it's like short bursts.
Yes.
It's really great stuff. It's on Amazon.
It's the
Grab
name.
it. Right now, the working title is Clear-Headed,
Oh, I love.
because that's what it gives you the gift of,
Oh,
like
I
being clear.
love. Just a working title? I love it.
It was that or the Clarity Code, but
Oh, I like that too, but I like
exactly.
clear-headed.
Yeah, me too.
I like clear-headed. I'm just so grateful to you for your work, for the way that you are evolving yourself. And I mean, I feel like with somebody like you, you are doing the work in real time and pulling us all along with you, just one step ahead. And that's so important, because it is so much easier for us ADHDers to learn from someone who's in the trenches than someone who's high on the mountaintop, like, let me show you how it's done. And instead you're like, no, I'm literally in the trenches and learning and evolving and growing. And so I just really, really appreciate you. The book is called Clear-Headed. You can find it on Amazon, and I highly recommend. We'll put a link. You can send us a link. We'll put a link in the show notes. Everybody go buy it. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, your effort, your contribution to the world in general, but really just like our ADHD community is so lucky to have you. So thank you so much.
Of course. There's a great line from one of the Jewish ethics, which is, if you are not for yourself, who will be? I feel like for the ADHD community, if we are not here for ourselves, who the hell will be?
That's so good. And on that note, we will see you next week. Bye-bye.